Part 1. Summary and Review. Summary. The Lost City of Z, a tale of deadly obsession in the Amazon, is the true story of a British explorer, Colonel Percy Harrison Fawcett, who became obsessed with finding a lost civilization in the Brazilian jungle. 80 years after Fawcett and his party disappeared in 1925, New Yorker staff writer David Grann used his investigative reporting skills to try to piece together what happened. He hoped to find the lost civilization that Fawcett had been obsessed with, Z, in the process. Fawcett began his career as a military man, but he always had a keen interest in exploration. In 1900, as a young adult, he decided to take an exploration course at the Royal Geographic Society in London. He was a quick study and soon earned a certificate at the top of his class. Soon after that, Fawcett went on his first expedition to Morocco, but not before the British government enlisted him as a spy. Exploring was the perfect cover. It would be his only mission. In 1906, Fawcett was recruited to explore in Brazil. His wife, Nina, was pregnant with their second child, and their first son, Jack, was just a toddler. Fawcett emerged from his expedition ahead of schedule in 1907, having mapped a significant swath of Brazilian jungle. He went home to meet his new son, Brian. Fawcett's next expedition was also in the Amazon jungle. This one was far less successful, and only about half of the party survived. Plagued by bugs and forced to endure a severe shortage of food, Fawcett thought he wouldn't mind returning home for a rest after the mission, but it wasn't long before he felt restless and irritable. Even though it was one of the most inhospitable habitats on Earth, the jungle was seemingly the only place where he felt at home. His work in the jungle continued for some 15 years. Fawcett would be gone for long stretches of time while Nina took care of their kids. They eventually added a third child, Joan, to the family. Though it was difficult sending her husband into uncertain terrain, and even more difficult living on his meager income, Nina was supportive of his work. Funding from the Royal Geographic Society was drying up, however, and Fawcett was constantly jealous of his rival explorer, Alexander Hamilton Rice, who was independently wealthy and had state-of-the-art gear. On one memorable expedition, Fawcett teamed up with James Murray, an Antarctic explorer who had worked with Sir Ernest Shackleton. Murray became very ill on the expedition and almost died. This infuriated Fawcett, who was seemingly impervious to illness. It wasn't just Murray. Feeling angry at companions that were holding him back was a common theme across Fawcett's expeditions. He was notoriously difficult to work with. He was, however, friendly towards the tribes of the Indians who lived in the jungle. Observing their impressive skills, Fawcett became convinced that there was a grand lost civilization buried somewhere deep in the jungle. He also came to believe that it was his destiny to find it. In his diaries and other writings, he referred to this lost city as Z. No one knows why.